Hey YouTube, so I know what you're thinking. Alex, you just did a video. Well, I've got a dance recital coming up, and I'm really not sure if I'm going to have the time to do a YouTube video this coming week, so I decided to go ahead and just do it right now. So I got this idea from author Jenna Moresi, so I can't take any credit for this other than putting some of my own spin on it. Uh, she had this thing where she set quarterly goals over 3 months, 12 months a year, so cut that in four, it's three, simple math. Uh, and the way that I approached it was I set 12 goals out for myself. I think she does like 20 or something like that, but I wanted to kind of start a little bit smaller, and the idea is to get at least half of them. And if I succeed, I get to talk about it and brag on my YouTube channel. If I don't, I get to face public humiliation. So I thought that was a pretty good motivation. And there's another thing, but we'll discuss that at the very end. So I want to talk about the goals that I got to reach and the goals I didn't get to do. So I got the list right here, and I had them on my fridge to help me. So number one, start a monthly writers talk on YouTube. So this whole idea was for me to get together with my fellow with a fellow author and either talk over Skype or in person. And I did get to do that for the first time earlier this month with J.S. Bailey, and she was very cool to talk to. So make sure you check out that video. But I plan on doing this once a month. This month I'm not sure who I'm gonna get. I'm working on it, so make sure you watch out for that. Two, great character cards for book reference. I did not get to this. I think this is gonna be something I'm going to work on while editing Phantom Lock the Lost, because I'm really cracking down on finishing the rough draft of that book. Three, find a better place to live. So I live in this apartment, and I gotta be careful what I say, but let's just say that ever since we lived here, we've had a dishwasher that hasn't worked, and the neighbors are really loud. I'm sure the reason I don't typically do videos here is because the neighbors are either constantly yelling at each other, or their dogs, or the dogs are yelling back at them, or they're barking for no reason. Right on cue. Anyway, so that's part of the reason why my roommate and I are trying to find a better place to live, and we did. So I succeed on that. We moved out in a couple of weeks, and that's part of the reason why I was intending on listing all this stuff off at the end of the month, but I thought I'd be too busy with moving, so that's another reason I'm doing this even earlier. So I did get to check that one off. 4, write 125 pages for Phantom Lock the Lost. So I did succeed at this by the skin of my teeth. I suffered a great loss probably about a month ago, where I just completely lost 30 pages out of my book, and no clue where they went. I had several backups, and it was all the same. So I messed up somewhere. So I've taken different precautions to do that, and I'm surprised that I reached this goal that I did. And in fact, the rough draft of Phantom Lock the Lost is almost finished. I've got a couple more chapters to go, and I might add something new to it. We'll see. 5, make a Facebook page for my author self. That's up. Make sure you check that out because it's awesome. 6, outline, brainstorm, bullet point the next book. I did not get to do this. However, I wrote the first 2 chapters of my next book. It's gonna be a sequel to Phantom Lock the Lost, so it'll be about Kurt, and I'm really excited about this idea. I don't really want to go too much into detail about the antagonist in the story because it's very much in its infancy, so it could completely change. so I don't want to say it's one thing and when it's released, it turns out to be something else. I don't want somebody to be like, "Whoa, Alex, you said this," and no. But I plan on outlining that. Hopefully, after Phantom Lock the Lost is completely done, probably after it's released, because I want to make sure that my next book gets all the attention it deserves. 7. Email Sasquatch Chronicles and interview Wes. So I semi succeed on this one. I count this as a success because I did email Wes and I greatly enjoy his show. I'm fascinated by the Sasquatch phenomenon, and if you get the chance to check out Sasquatch Chronicles, it's a nice podcast. He has a lot of interesting people on, and I was interested in interviewing him for a possible future book, and I did email him, and he hasn't answered back. He's probably too busy, or maybe he's not interested. That doesn't discolor my opinion of him in any way. I still think his stuff is great, and maybe I'll be able to get into contact with him at a later time. Get new glasses. Yeah, I've got new specs. My other ones were falling apart. They were probably a good 5 or 6 years old, and they were scratched really bad from working in a warehouse and dancing and falling from trying to stay in shape, and who knows what else. So I did succeed at that. Set up some book signings. I've been working a little bit on this. I plan on doing more of these after I have another book out, because a lot of things people have been telling me is like, well, you've only got one book and it's just a collection of short stories. We'd really like for you to have more stuff. But I did get to do a book signing at a convention, which was a lot of fun. But I haven't slacked on this too much. I have been going around asking people, and a lot of people and organizations and companies have been telling me the same thing. So I'm gonna be a bit more fierce about it once Phantom Lock the Lost comes out, because I think that'll be sort of where things start to take off. Fingers crossed. 10. Write a kick-ass superhero campaign for a gaming group. So every weekend I game with a group of my high school friends, and I switch off with a friend of mine. He does like D&D and fantasy stuff, and then I just got finished doing Star Wars, which I was really happy with that one, and we're getting ready to do Mad Max. I have not had the chance to really work on a superhero campaign because I haven't had a really good idea for it yet, and you know when we started the gaming group, it was superhero stuff, and it was mainly me running it, and I'll probably return to it because I love superheroes probably even more than I love horror. So don't be surprised there's a superhero book or comic in my future. But I did not get to write a kick-ass superhero campaign for a gaming group. Guys, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I'm sure you're going to be happy with the Mad Max campaign I've got planned. Post a video to YouTube once a week. But nailing this. I slacked a little bit earlier in the year, but that's because of personal stuff. But once April came around and I started this whole list thing, I've been pretty regular about this. I don't think I've missed a week at all in the past 3 months. I've been able to post at least something on YouTube, and it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I think it's a helpful tool. Last but not least, go on a light run every Sunday morning. So here I am throwing out excuses between work, dance, and writing a book and everything else I've got going on. I take the weekends to relax, and I relax as much as I can when that damn dog is barking his head off. But I haven't gone on a Sunday run in quite a while. I'm still exercising and staying in shape, but I really wanted to go for a Sunday run in the mornings, just to even further that, because I very much like to exercise. It's a lot of fun. It's a decompressor for me. but I did not get around to doing that, and hopefully once the dance season is over, hopefully I'll have more time to do that, and I'll probably hit the gym even harder. I work out with one of my buddies. I had a friend that got me into really terrific shape for this upcoming dance season, and I'm sure I'll probably try to push the bar even further this time. So if you're keeping track, I got 8 out of the 12, and that actually means something. That's my intention was to get half, and I exceeded that. So the reward for myself, other than not humiliating myself in front of the 5.5 fans that I have, was I started a Funko Pop collection, and if I did half of my goals, I'd get myself one. If I did, which is 6, and if I did 9, I'd get 2. And if I did all 12, I'd either get 3 or one of the really like big ones. And I think the Funko Pops are pretty cool. My favorite one that I've got is I've got a Pinhead one from Hellraiser. I'm too lazy to go over there and grab them, but I did reward myself. I didn't quite reach 9. I was tempted to cheat, but I didn't. I was like, no, you didn't reach 9. Don't cheat. But I'm very proud that I got 8 out of the 12. So I want to show you the little guy I got, and I'll always show the Funko Pops that I do get at the end of my quarterly goals. This guy is Firestorm. If you watched Super Friends in the 70s and 80s, you know who this guy is. However, if you watch Flash on the CW, you are definitely familiar with this guy. I saw this guy at the Fairfield Mall, and he was one of those Funko Pops that I was kind of surprised he existed, because Firestorm, isn't Batman and Superman. He's not super popular, and that's what I like about the Funko line, is that they go to some of the more obscure stuff. Like I've got a Phantom Funko Pop, and I love the Billy Zane movie, so I was excited to get that one. But hopefully I'll get at least one of these, and I'll set a whole new set of goals for myself through July, August, and September, and then at the end of September, the very last week of September, depending on what I have going on that week, I'll post a video about it, and hopefully I'll be able to succeed as well as I did this time. Thanks for listening. This is a great way, by the way, to set goals for yourself. Whether you don't have to be an author. Like, I didn't set this just purely for writing stuff. There's other stuff on here, obviously, and maybe Jenna Moresi, if you check her out. She's got a YouTube channel, and maybe she did this even better than I did, but this was a great help for me, and I got to do a lot of cool things, and I'm looking forward to challenging myself even further the next 3 months. Everybody have a good upcoming week. I'll see you not next week, but the week after, of course. Bye.